yesterday I had this really random great piece of fudge.
Chocolate? Where?
John Chandler had it. He just kind of walked me around and decided to offer me.
Loyola University John Feliceron Center. Buonasera. No, non so dove è padre Chandler. Ah, no, non lo so dove va. Lo mandano via. Ma dove?
I came to the Rome Center 5 years ago. Father John and I started the same year. That first fall we lost a student to a tragic auto accident. Father John was remarkable in his ability to gather people and help our community heal. I'll always remember the gifts he brought to all of us the day that Steve Wolf died.
I always tell a joke that if someone went into Father Chandler's office and said, "I just killed my mother," he would lean slowly back in his chair, he would look compassionately at the person and he would say, "Let's talk about it."
Io penso che padre Chandler sia una persona veramente gentile, educata, disponibile. Non è mai successo che qualche volta padre Chandler mi abbia detto di no. Certo, qualche volta non ci siamo capiti perché io non so bene l'inglese e lui non sa bene l'italiano, però lui ha sempre detto di sì, qualsiasi richiesta, sempre pronto il primo sempre pronto ad aiutare in qualsiasi situazione, a qualsiasi ora della notte. Devo dire che è veramente una persona veramente affabile, gradevole.
Went to high school in the city of Buffalo, not too far from where my dad worked. It was a great place, and then I'd drive with him in the morning, gave us a chance to get to know each other and to talk. Then I'd take a bus. And when I was growing up, we went over to Canada, at a moment's notice, to either go to Crystal Beach Amusement Park, or as I grew older and wiser, for milkshakes, because they had far better ice cream than the U.S., or for good beer and cheese, and for Chinese dinners. And then eventually up to Toronto for all its cultural activities, with concerts and the operas and ballets and everything that were just phenomenal. I fairly well covered a good part of the globe between Italy and Hawaii. I think I've done most of them. When I lived in Hawaii for 7 years, from 1986 to 1993, and I had a tremendous opportunity to be able to see some of the Pacific. So I went down to Samoa, Western Samoa and Tonga, and then I had a chance to go down to Tahiti. Went to Bora Bora, Raiatea, Huahine.
So how many countries have you been to?
I looked at, a year or two ago, I was looking at different places, and I had it written down. I can't remember, it was either 27 or 57. That's a big difference. So somewhere between there.
It's impossible to meet Father Chandler and not be struck immediately by his warmth. That was my overriding reaction to him. Obviously, he's our chaplain, so he runs our liturgies. He is always present at our Sunday Mass at 9 o'clock, as well as daily Mass. He plans the Mass of the Holy Spirit in the fall and the spring.
I think maybe above all things, I like people. I find culture, history, all of it's embraced in travel when you get to know people. Try different foods, but also try to understand what people live day by day. What are the icons and the cultural markers, the historical markers that identify people? We're so provincial in the U.S. By and large, I think we are. I don't think that we have a great worldview. Because when I take a look at what traveling outside of our country has done in terms of helping me to see how small my view of the world was. I'm thinking, gee, I'm just one person, one citizen. I wonder if this is shared by the vast majority of us in the U.S., that we don't really see too much outside of our lives. Even these 5 years in Italy, this has been a fantastic experience.
If Father Chandler were leaving, let's say tomorrow, I would go shopping on Via del Corso with him and buy him an exquisite Italian shirt. He loves beautiful clothes and he always looks elegant. After that, I would pick the best restaurant in Rome, and even though we couldn't afford it, we would, as the Spanish say, throw the house through the window, tirar la casa per la ventana. Father Chandler loves good food, he loves great wine, and I will miss the most of all those wonderful dinners with Father Chandler.
When you talk to Father Chandler, you just get the feeling that there are all these amazing stories and all this incredible background of all these things that he's been through, but you never actually get to hear about it because his humility is so great.
There's a custom of ringing the church bell or the convent bell or the monastic bell to call people to prayer. That Mass is about to begin, or benediction or services are about to begin. So in our own country, because of the pluralism in our country, a lot of townships and cities have argued that the bell is an intrusion in their lives. But here in Italy, one of the most beautiful sounds to me is the ringing of the bell. Whether it's from St. Peter's Basilica or the little parish right down the street, to me it's a beautiful sound. Some students let me in their lives, some people don't do that. So I never try to push myself or intrude in their lives. But insofar as I can, I try to be there for them. And sometimes it has nothing to do with religion at all. Sometimes it's because I'm a person that they can talk to. And my advice is always free. So they can listen to it or they can throw it away. So my work is going to be pastoral once again. And except every day that when I get up in the winter, it's going to be a lot warmer.
It's impossible to meet Father Chandler and not be struck immediately by his warmth.
Every time I see Father Chandler around campus, I always ended up seeing him with different students going out, and it kind of just makes me think that he's just a kid at heart.
Father John is always the calm in the center of a storm. And believe me, almost every day at the Rome Center, there's a storm.
There is no replacement for Father Chandler. It's very typical to say in all the Romance languages that a person is a saint, è un santo. In the case of Father Chandler, and he'll kill me for saying this, it's absolutely true. His holiness is something that just lights every room, every space that he's in. So how could we ever replace such a person?